Yo escano swaguego. Just doing a quick drop-in video here on the word to forget. So it's a C stem. This mostly, if you're a beginner, you might want to go back to the pronoun chart, learn how to do a C stem, the blue or galya ant, patient conjugations, because this is what you got to use with them. So we're going to go over, there's 3 aspects, which I have listed right here. So you have the stative, the habitual, and the punctual. So those are your aspects. It has to deal with the mind. So you got nikon, right? That's the mind. And most of the time, pretty much every time you do something with the mind, it's going to have that glottal stop on there. So it'll change a little for the me form, but you'll see that as we go along. So your aspects are nigohen, nigohes, and nigohen. So the first column here, ak nigohen, I had forgotten. I have forgot. Ak nigohen. So on the me form, that glottal stop doesn't come into play. Your pronoun just ak, and then it just keeps on going with the aspect or the root as far as the to mind, have a mind. And you'll see that on other words that deal with the mind if you go through it. So ak nigohen. So I have forgotten. Sat nigohen. You have forgotten. Hot nigohen. Got nigohen. Ot nigohen. So those forms are me, you, him, her, it. Now, I'm not sure, what the everyday use is going to be for it has forgotten. Mostly you're probably going to use those 4. But I put it on there anyways. And if you know the conjugations from the one I put up earlier, then you can just go through all the rest as you see fit. So you two forgot, we all forgot, all those different ones. So that's the nigohen, had forgotten. This middle column here, nigohes, so to forget habitually all the time. I did put a word down here to be, not that one, sorry. There's another one down here that has to be forgetful, and we'll get to that. But this is the habitual one here. So ak nigohes, sat nigohes, you forget. Hot nigohes, got nigohes, and ot nigohes. So those are just the habitual forget. Maybe somebody, you always forget. I don't know. You got to kind of have an imagination when you go through these. But the main one I wanted to focus on was this last column, because a lot of people say these words here, especially when we're in class. If somebody can't remember a certain term, or, even in the dialogue with other people, we forget. We might have studied a word and we just forgot the root, or we can't remember how to conjugate it, or, anything. Onkni gohan. I forgot. Okay. Onkni gohan. So this is the past tense that we're using. And this one in particular is the only one that uses this nasal O to past tense it. The patient, me, eat, is the only one that does that. So onkni gohan. So you wouldn't say o wakni gohan. You'd just say onkni gohan. I forgot. I forgot it. Onkni gohan. So now we do the U form. Esat ni gohan. Esat ni gohan. He forgot. Walt ni gohan. Walt ni gohan. She forgot. Wa agot ni gohan. Wa agot ni gohan. And just for kicks, it forgot. Wa ot ni gohan. Wa ot ni gohan. So those are the ones I hear more of in class, and then when I talk with people too, they just forget a word, or they forget what happened, or I don't know. Sometimes we ask that, and he said, "Yeah, what are you doing?" Or that not sajate. Tay Dan, what did you do yesterday? And I don't know, just gets lost in the shuffle. I forgot where we went or something like that. So here we have negation in the past. Da'awak nigohen. I didn't forget. Da'awak nigohen. So one of the ways that I've seen to negate is they'll put this da'a on here. And then you'll plug in your prefix right here. Da'awak nigohen. So obviously that glottal stop's not in there for that one because it's the me form. I didn't forget. Da'awak nigohen. But if you wanted to say you didn't forget, da'asat nigohen, you didn't forget. Da'ayagot nigohen, she didn't forget. And so forth. You can plug them in as you see fit. And then as I was looking it up, there was like this word just to be forgetful. So it had nigohesko. So you can see it does have this habitual form, nigohes, but it adds this go on here, right? It adds that on there, nigohesko. Oh, nigohesko, there's a lengthen on the end, nigohesko. And it has to have a repetitive on there. So if you look here, you have your repetitive, you have your me, and then you have your root right there. Swak nigohesko. I'm forgetful. Swak nigohesko. So, practice putting those into sentences. The conjugations just help as far as knowing what to plug in and how to make the changes, but you got to put them in sentences and actually make them real. So that's just a quick drop-in video. Hope that helped, and you can post questions in the comments or on the page that I posted on. All right, let's go and get.